Consumer duty is a prime example of how data strategy is increasingly at the heart of why, what, and how the firm operates, not just a core input for risk pricing. Decision makers in all functions, and especially at board, need more and better than the current set of metrics and measurement tools. These are the future metrics, and in 6 10-minute episodes, Insurance Data Lab brings you diverse, bite-sized views from experts inside and outside insurance and financial services. I'm Shan Millie, and I work at the intersection of data-enabled value generation, leadership, and trust. And these 3 competencies are business critical for growth in today's market. And I think consumer duty is the sternest test to date for the firm to work out, do you have what it takes or don't you? IDL in 10 Future Metrics aims to help you to take stock and to take action. And in this episode, I'm speaking with Alice Glenister. Alice, you head up the insurance vertical for Mastercard and looking at map parametrics and data, and you're doing some very, very exciting stuff. So over to you.
Thank you very much. So as you mentioned, my name is Alice Glenister, work within the insurance vertical here at Mastercard, and I'm here to explain how we're harnessing Mastercard's payments data to infer business interruption, to help our partners make quicker, smarter, data-driven decisions to help small businesses during their time of need. And so it may not be immediately obvious as to why Mastercard are involved in the insurance sector. So I'll start off by talking about that quickly, and then we'll go and talk about the business continuity indicator, the main topic of conversation today. And so whilst Mastercard, we're primarily known as a global payments company, I think it's pretty obvious here today, we do have other areas of expertise. And we can bring the full suite of our capabilities, whether it be data and data insight, into the insurance sector to either enhance current product offerings or to help launch new and exciting products. And having worked as an underwriter before joining Mastercard, I look across all the data that we produce here, all the data insights, to work out where we can deploy them within the insurance sector, or where we can collaborate with our partners to work together to help drive industry-wide innovation. So we've partnered up with a company called Exante. They're an insurtech company based over in Dublin. And through our collaborative partnership, together we've built the business continuity indicator. And I'm going to call it the BCI for short, because it's a bit of a mouthful otherwise. And so the BCI aims to transform the business interruption claims experience for small business owners primarily, to help with that claims process that they have to go through when presented with a business interruption claim, to help them receive the resources that they need far sooner than current processes allow. And so the issue that we're trying to address, and the reason that we've built the business continuity indicator with Exante, is that business interruption products don't always meet the needs of small business owners, especially if there's any ambiguity around the cause or the extent of that interruption. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy, yet some policies just don't meet the needs of those customers. Insurers require very detailed documentation when presented with any business interruption claim. It can be very time consuming, it can be very labour intensive for that small business owner at a really stressful time. Something's happened to them, their business has been interrupted, and yet they have to navigate this maze of processes and face many administrative barriers to try and get their claim paid. In some instances, it can take over a year to pay a valid interruption claim, which is just simply far too long, and can have a detrimental impact not only to that business but also to the local economy as well. Cash flow is so important to the survival of any small business that payment speed can be as valuable as payment totality. And so really trying to look at the way in which we as Mastercard can bring our data into the insurance industry to speed up that process. And so the complex loss adjustment processes that businesses have to go through ultimately means that the insurance industry alone just cannot meet the needs of those business owners. And so we have a role to play as Mastercard within that. And so we built the BCI to provide that indication, or that to infer business interruption through our payments data. So help give those business owners the resources they need to innovate or survive that crisis. And so the BCI provides an indication of business interruption based on our transactional data. The Geo Insights report that we naturally produce as Mastercard breaks the world up into grid squares, and it allows us to understand transactional spend at a very granular level. We have that independent, community-based view of all transactions was insights into transactional activity, not just for policyholders, but for kind of every merchant within that grid square. And so we're aiming to transform that claims experience for that business owner, because we have the data, we have the insights, we have the capability to speed up that process. And so instead of the insurance company requesting all that information, conducting days and days of desktop research to understand if that event has occurred, we can simply log onto the BCI dashboard, enter in the business address, enter in the date of loss, and up pops a timeline of actual spend versus expected trend, as well as a heat map to show transactional activity in the surrounding area and on varying days. And so within a couple of clicks, we can easily pinpoint business interruption events based on transactional spend. It's not footfall data. It's not people coming in and out the shop. It's data of people actually spending their money in those shops. So we have a really good insight into what's happening on the ground in those businesses. We then look at transactional data across business region, across business type. And when we witness a significant drop in transactional data, we can infer business interruption because there's so many other businesses that have been impacted by the same event. We don't know what's happened through our data, but we know something has happened. And so we can use that, work with our partners to help speed up the verification and therefore the payment of that non-business, that damage interruption claim to that small business owner. And so we're allowing our partners to quickly identify those valid claims to help with the whole claims process. And we believe that it will significantly transform that claims experience for that business interruption owner. It will help get them the money they need, the resources they need to innovate out of that crisis. So we're all about identifying what has happened on the ground by our data and helping the insurance industry use that in a really easy to use format through the BCI to help those small business owners during the time of need to make them more resilient.
Wow, Alice, that is such a powerful innovation and such a brilliant illustration of how you can both use payments data and properly constructed data strategy and outputs to make a genuine and lasting impact for those small businesses. Congratulations to you and the team.
Thank you very much.
So at this point, I'd like to hand over to Dan King, co-founder of Insurance Data Lab. Dan, any reflections on what you've just heard from Alice?
Just really impressed with kind of what it does and how what an impact it could possibly have on those small businesses that are so critically affected. And it's interesting to hear how the speed of payment clearly is very important, but you probably don't think about that so much as an outsider. You think about the right payment and the payment getting through rather than the speed, but clearly speed's critical, and I can see that this would be quite groundbreaking.
So Alice, how can people reach you if they want to follow up and find out more?
So please connect via LinkedIn, Alice Glenister, as we mentioned at the start. More than happy to have a conversation with anyone that's interested in data, innovation within the insurance sector. Please do connect and we'll get in contact to continue those conversations offline.
Watch the floodgates open, Alice, on your LinkedIn. So thank you very much again, Alice Glenister with the BCI from Mastercard. Thanks, Dan, and thank you very much, and see you the next time.